Coming up now on Animal Outtakes, this white pelican has an incredible story to tell. Rescued, recovered, and ready to be released. That's our Preserve and Protect segment. You will meet a mighty mastiff, our dog of the week, a gentle giant who cares for those in need, and will take you behind the scenes on very important pets. This week's VI pet, a popular TV weatherman, and his adorable new puppy. That and more right now on Animal Outtakes. Welcome to another edition of Animal Outtakes. Zeus and I have been working very hard this week to bring you the best from the animal kingdom. We start off with a visit to our friends at Save Our Seabirds, where we learn about the white pelican. Our good friends at Save Our Seabirds have been rehabilitating birds for almost 35 years. Today, we're going to meet an American white pelican, a true snowbird who shall remain nameless. Let's find out why.
These are the white pelicans, the original snowbirds, and as you well know, every winter we get hundreds of these that migrate down from the upper Midwest and spend the winter here in sunny Sarasota and Manatee counties.
Here in Florida, we see the brown pelicans year-round. But the white pelicans have a different lifestyle.
They are much bigger. They fly great distances, thousands of miles every year for their migration. Their diet changes as they migrate. When they're living up north during the summertime, they eat freshwater fish. Then when they come down here in the wintertime, they live out on our beaches and they eat saltwater fish, and that fattens them up for the flight back north.
Speaking of eating habits, there's a big difference between white and brown pelicans, as Dana tells us.
The brown pelicans will dive for their fish, where the white pelicans will scoop up their fish and tip like a duck.
Like a duck?
Yeah, that's basically what they look like. They kind of tip over like dabbling ducks.
As you have seen around here, the brown pelicans, they will dive, right into the water to retrieve fish. The white pelicans don't do that. They just swim along and they just dip in and scoop up the fish as they go.
And there are some more differences between these birds.
The brown pelicans will have 2 to 3 eggs. The white pelicans will have 1 to 2. And with white pelicans, usually one survives. It's definitely the survival of the fittest.
Even their flying habits are unique.
White pelicans actually fly in a V formation. Brown pelicans, they skim along the water.
So every autumn, the white pelicans make the migration from the Midwest to Florida. And some go on to Central and South America. But that's a long trip, and not all the birds are up to the task of flying that distance, as you'll soon see. Wow, that is really amazing. Who knew how unique the white pelican is? Our story continues with the search for a family and the role each bird plays in the great migration of the white pelican. As we just learned, American white pelicans migrate every fall from the north to the south. But not long ago, 2 pelicans were unable to make the trip.
Most of them fly down here under their own power. A couple years ago, we had 2 of them that flew down by commercial aircraft. And there were 2 rehab facilities up in the upper Midwest, one in Illinois, one in Wisconsin. They each had a white pelican that they knew they could not rehabilitate and release in time to go south with the flock. So what they did was they researched facilities here in Florida. They both independently chose us to send these birds to so that we could rehabilitate them and release them.
After a short time at Save Our Seabirds, one of them was able to be released into the wild. Seeing it return to nature and join an existing flock was a happy day. Yay! But the other bird was not so lucky.
This one was stubborn. It wasn't growing his feathers back properly, and so we had to keep it one more year, and now it's finally going to be ready for release.
I wondered why a bird wouldn't grow his feathers properly, and Dana offered a possible reason.
It could be genetics. That pelican might have not been able to survive in the wild without help from us.
They do breed over the summer up north, and that's sort of leads to the reason why this pelican ended up here, because he was a newborn during that summer, and normally he would have developed his feathers and flown with the flock, but for some strange reason his feathers didn't develop properly and he would not have been ready to fly and would not have made it down here. So that's why he had to come down by either United or Delta Airlines.
Thankfully, Saving Our Seabirds was able to save this bird, and he will soon be ready to join the now arriving white pelicans. But there are things you can be aware of to help the white pelicans, and the brown pelicans too. Dana, so many of our audience members remember Sweet Pea. We are so attached to Sweet Pea. But what is more important is how we protect her and the pelicans. And these signs are very simple. They're pictorial. Don't feed scraps. Never cut the line if you hook a pelican. Don't cut it, net it, and call Save Our Seabirds when you see a problem. Now, in the first part, I mentioned that our rescued white pelican has no name, and I wondered if there was a reason.
There is a reason. You know Sweet Pea, you know Gabby, you know Rocky,
yes,
all
we
of our
do.
other birds. But our policy in general is if we have a bird that we believe that we can release, that we hope that we can release, we do not give that bird a name, because we don't want to really reinforce any kind of imprinting with that bird. We want to keep that bird as wild as possible.
Save Our Seabirds rescues more than 300 pelicans each winter, with the hope of returning them back to the wild whenever feasible. Well, when you see Sweet Pea and pelicans like Sweet Pea, you're well worth the save. The white pelican is protected by the Migratory Bird Treaty Act of 1918, and although it is not currently endangered, habitat loss is the largest known cause of nesting failure. If you see a bird in distress, contact Save Our Seabirds immediately. They will know what to do. One more note about Save Our Seabird, they've gone high-tech. There are now interactive displays at the center that allow you to watch videos on your phone as you walk through the sanctuary.
The entire sign itself is the code. And so what you do is, when you come out to Save Our Seabirds, you can download our free app off of either Android or an Apple, right here using our free Wi-Fi. And then once you've got your app loaded on your phone, you can just point your phone or your tablet PC right at this sign, and your device comes to life.
So the next time you visit, don't forget to ask about the interactive videos. They're really cool. Still ahead, it's time for an animal adventure. This week, an unusual lizard with a story you will not believe. Don't go away.
Yeah, they do use their tail. They'll tail whip, and it hurts. If they get a hold of you pretty good, it will hurt. Stings pretty good, so you want to avoid the tail, the claws, and the mouth.
Do you like tacos?
Do you like dogs?
Do you like burritos?
Do you like dogs?
Do you like chips?
Do you like dogs? Come out to any Papo's Taqueria locations on November 17th and 18th.
And for every order, Papo's Taqueria will donate to Dante's Den.
Providing loving care for dogs whose owners can't be there due to illness, injury, military deployment, or abandonment.
Papo's for Pups. Great food for a great cause.
For thousands of years, we've been humans' best friend. You've been through a lot, and we've been right there with you. A dog is part of the family, a confidant, and a friend who always knows how to get into your heart. So what happens to our beloved companions when we can no longer care for them? This is why we've created Dante's Den, an innovative, state-of-the-art facility that will provide care for up to 100 dogs.
Dante's Den is a community for joyful dogs.
Millions of Americans face uncertainty when planning for the future of beloved pets who may well outlive them. Dante's Den is a charitable organization, so in whatever capacity you can, please lend your support so that we may continue this most wonderful work.
Dante and I would like to thank you for watching and for also opening up your hearts to our wonderful community of joyful dogs.
Learn about the many ways you could become involved by visiting dantesden.org.
The Crested Caracara is listed in Florida as threatened. Their numbers have declined due to many factors, including illegal hunting. Help support efforts to eliminate the threat of illegal hunting, not just for birds of prey such as the caracara, but for all wildlife. Always alert authorities if you see people hunting illegally, or if you see wildlife parts, such as feathers, being sold illegally.
In this week's edition of Animal Adventure, we meet a very strange creature, a lizard like you have probably never seen. Andrew, I see somebody peeking out right here.
Yeah, he knows we're talking about him. This is Aldous. He's our Argus monitor, and he's a monitor from Australia. And one of the things that they're most known for is a tripod, or they'll stand up on their back legs. Now, they actually think that's kind of where they got the name monitor lizard, because they would stand up and they would monitor the savanna or the area. We're going to try to bring him out. We've been doing some training sessions with him, so we have him come out. Now, at first he's really excited and he's hungry and he's running around, so we're going to try to bring him out and get him to stand up for us out here and see how he does.
And where would you like me to stand?
You can stand right over there, as long as you stay pretty still. His focus is going to be on the food, so that's where most of his attention is going to stand. And he does like, I'm going to warn you now, he likes my shoes. So he does tend to go for my shoes sometimes, so we'll see how he behaves. Come on. Oh, right here. Oh.
Well, you got that.
Snagged it. Let me grab another piece.
Now, is he poisonous?
No, he's not. Oh, right here. Up. Come on, settle down. Stand up for me. Up. Oh, a little higher. You gotta work for it. Hey, look at me. Up. Come on. You gotta hold it. There you go. Good boy. Do you want to try now? We'll give
we could give it the old college try.
All you gotta do is hold it up above his head and make him stand up real high. You gotta put it in front of him first, though, so he sees it.
Does he see this?
Yep. Down a little lower.
Oh, wait, I have to get a better grip on this. Oh, he doesn't like my chicken. What kind of damage could he do to a human?
You know, they have one of the more smaller heads. Now his head is decently sized and he has some sharp teeth. And so if he bit a hold of you, it would cause, you'd have some bad lacerations. You don't want to get bit. Now the other thing that you have to worry about with these is they have bacteria in their saliva.
And when the food was gone, he quickly lost interest in us.
And when he's doing that with the tongue, what is he really doing?
He's actually smelling. So they're just like a snake. They have a good sense of smell with their tongue. They actually taste scent particles in the air.
And that tail could be a real weapon.
Yeah, they do use their tail. They'll tail whip. And it hurts. If they get a hold of you pretty good, it will hurt. Stings pretty good. So you want to avoid the tail, the claws, and the mouth.
And of course, it doesn't leave much else. One thing I couldn't help but notice, these are wild exotic animals that Andrew is used to handling. And you have to notice how strong he is. The average person is not going to make it with these kind of animals.
No, he gives me a run for my money, and we try to use them as much as we can for education. That's why we handle them, why we want to get them out there and educate people about the animals. So sometimes they want to be a little difficult. We try not to force too much. If we can handle him, he's already starting to mellow down.
Yeah.
And it shows him, hey, this isn't, I'm not going to get hurt. We're just, talking. They get pretty used to it after a while.
Well, they are wild. and they are not domesticated, and they need to have our respect. And now it's time for a VI pet, a cute little puppy, TV weatherman, and a family where love and support mean everything.
Mia's a rescue dog that we got just recently, 8 months old, and I'll tell you what, she's a bundle of joy. She's having a lot of fun. My wife Susan, who just went through breast cancer, decided to get a little companion to kind of take her mind off everything. So she's not only a rescue dog, she's rescuing us too, right? How you doing, Mia? Here, Mia. She thinks she's a big dog.
She goes to school every day that I grab my car keys. She goes to the school and she's very friendly with all the kids.
So everybody knows her already?
Yep, oh yeah.
Does she make you happy?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, 2 months now. The dog's been 2 months, and it just keeps us company now that Emma's at school, and I get to walk the dog around the neighborhood. It's kind of weird, big me walking this little dog around, but she likes her walks. Okay, and so I gotta kind of keep up with her first, because you know she gives me a little run there. See how fast I can go. Yeah, I was gonna say that. If we're still mic'd up, this is one thing I get to do is I get a little walk and a run sometimes with the dog. And so I don't get to exercise as much anymore, so now this gives me a little bit better chance to do that. Just, you know, it gives Emma a chance too, our little daughter, to experience how to take care of a pet, you know, and make sure that you have responsibilities, you have duties to take care of the dog, and make sure the dog is entertained as well, and you know, just a lot that goes with it, a lot of responsibility, you know, taking care of a pet. And make sure that if you get a pet, you are willing to commit that kind of responsibility. I think it's a good teaching lesson for Emma. There's so many dogs out there that need rescue, you know, and they need to be rescued. And you don't need to go to some puppy mill to buy a dog, I don't think. There's so many dogs that are out there right now, and they're cute dogs, you know. She's a barker, though. If she hears something, she'll start barking and think she's gonna scare somebody.
Yeah.
Go get him, go get him. Go get him.
It's always the little ones.
Go get him. Go get him. It kind of brings the family together as far as that goes. Everyone's kind of part of the dog, you know, they're all different. This dog is great too, because when you wake up, it comes running at you, it says hello, kind of greets you. And it's always kind of sad when you leave, you know, but then he goes find someone else, or she goes find someone else. The dog kind of brings unity in the family, you know, it's something to talk about, and obviously just brings a lot of fun.
There's still more to come here on Animal Outtakes. A couple really big dogs that have evolved from being attackers to caregivers. We'll explain when we return. Our next dogs are well known for being affectionate, brave, and loyal. Their size may be intimidating to some, but their personalities will win anybody over in a heartbeat. Here's our dog of the week, the Bull Mastiff. These are bull mastiffs.
They are bull mastiffs.
One of the greatest breeds that we have. Tell us how old this breed truly is and what were they really bred for?
They are called the gamekeeper's night dog, and they're one of the only breeds that has been developed to actually take down a human being. They used them to catch poachers on the big game preserves in Europe. And the original color for a bull mastiff is the brindle, like Sunshine, because they disappear at night.
Everything about these dogs was bred into them for a purpose.
The wrinkles on their head are so that the gamekeeper who's traveling through the woods with them, who cannot carry a lantern or a light because he would be shot, can reach down and touch the top of his dog's head, and the wrinkles become more pronounced when the dog sees or hears or smells something. And they're bred with a slight underbite so that if they catch a poacher, they knock them down and lay on them and put their mouth on them, but they don't tear the flesh. They hold them down, but they don't hurt them.
Now, it's hard to believe that these two wonderful but very docile at this point creatures could do something like that, but it's bred into them.
It's bred into them. Mm-hmm.
That said, they're also gentle giants.
They are therapy dogs. Sunshine's been in the school reading program. They've both been hospice dogs for many years. They visit Braden River Care Center in Bradenton and visit the old folks. And when we go in the Alzheimer's wing with Sunshine, everybody in there sings "You Are My Sunshine."
Oh.
And they've been doing that for 8 years, and it still chokes me up whenever they do it.
And they remember that.
There's no question, I fell in love with these two.
Luann, watching Sunshine and Ruby, I'm ready to just kind of lay over them and take a nap myself.
They would love it.
Yeah.
They would love it. They'd make room for you.
Bull Mastiffs live to be around 10 years of age and have a wonderful disposition that fits into most families. They're generally good with kids and other dogs. So if you're looking for a big cuddler, the Bull Mastiff might just be your choice.
Those are some really big dogs, Zeus. But as soon as you look into their eyes, just like you, they are so caring. And speaking of caring, up next, Dr. Dog with the tip of the week.
Do you like tacos?
Do you like dogs?
Do you like burritos?
Do you like dogs?
Do you like chips?
Do you like dogs? Come out to any Papo's Taqueria locations on November 17th and 18th.
And for every order, Papo's Taqueria will donate to Dante's Den.
Providing loving care for dogs whose owners can't be there due to illness, injury, military deployment, or abandonment.
Papo's for Pups. Great food for a great cause.
Every week we find an interesting medical tip that might answer a question that you have. Here's Dr. Dog.
We have a letter today from one of our viewers who asks, how important is it to have massage for our dogs? Linda?
It's very important, actually, just as important as if it were for us. Dogs have all kinds of pathologies just like we do. They have surgery just like we do. They're athletes just like we are. So anything that we can do for us, we can do for the dogs as well, as far as massage goes.
Would you recommend that the massage be once a week, once a month, whenever?
It depends on what's going on with the dog. If you're just doing it just for a relaxation type thing with your dog, if they're maybe stressed, not as often as if they had an injury or were recovering from some type of surgery.
What about fear? We know that so many of the dogs are fearful of storms, and obviously they hear that rumbling way before we hear it. Could massage relax them and help them into that?
Absolutely. You know, he actually has a fear of loud noises, and I work with him when we have those storms, and we have people out where I live that shoot guns. So it does help a lot, and we can, as massage therapists for canines, we can also offer some helpful use, strokes and different ways of calming the dog for the owners themselves to do at home.
And what does the usual session last?
Depends on the dog. The dog sets the time. As long as the dog is calm and willing to have the work done, that's the time. Anywhere from 10 to 45 minutes, depending on the dog.
You can watch full episodes of Animal Outtakes by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Just visit youtube.com/animalouttakes.
That wraps up this week, and what a great show it's been. I can't stop thinking about those white pelicans though, but we'll be sure to let you know as soon as he finds a family. Until next week, I'm Marsha Panuce, here with my best friend Zeus, and we hope that you've learned something and had some fun along the way. See you next week.
And that's one thing I don't particularly care for, is picking up after a dog. That's what you gotta do, you know?
The rules. Hers can't be that big though.
No, it's not. There we go. The end of the neighbor's lawn. They're fun walking around and running. Look at that gate. The gate's kind of funny, isn't it? She kind of scooters and scammers. You get a short walk today, Mia. Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia.